I'm not proud about it, but I am going to come clean and tell you guys about it because it's something that maybe I can help somebody. Don't do things while you're intoxicated. That's sort of why, or where I want to go with this, and why I'm going to, record this video, because I want somebody to learn from my mistake. Was it a simple mistake? Yes. Was I super frustrated with the car? Absolutely. Had I been sober, would I have done that? Probably not. I probably would have just... Alrighty guys, so we are going to make probably one of the shortest videos I have ever made. I don't think it's going to drag out to 10 minutes, but it just might. So behind me, or off to my left, sits my 99 C5 Corvette. Kind of short story about the car. I purchased the car because I've always wanted a Corvette. I used to be a car dealer. It came through the auction lane. I paid $8 grand for it. I ended up buying it. It was completely bone stock, which, if you guys do know the channel, just bear with me here. We're just going to do a quick little rundown of the car and kind of give the viewers a quick rundown of why I may be frustrated with the car, why we might be where we are at with the car, but I just want you guys to know. So I ended up buying it, purchasing it, brought it back home, went to Corvettes Carlisle, had the time of my life, loved it. Decided I wanted more power, I wanted more sound. I went ahead, bought exhaust, got exhaust on it, loved the sound. Decided I want that thump, that chop, chop, chop. Ended up buying, I personally installed the cam here in my driveway. And I gotta admit, I loved every minute of it. It wasn't hard, it took a lot of time, but it wasn't a hard install. I sort of, once I got it fired up, I fell in love with the sound. So we ended up getting it dynoed. The car made 407 and 407 horsepower and I think it was 389 torque, something around there. It was like 410 and 390 horsepower and torque, and I absolutely loved the car. It was an absolute blast to drive. It turned a lot of heads because it was, it had that chop, it made noise. People thought it was a lot faster than it was, which was kind of cool, and I just sort of ran with it. So I'd say a month or two goes by, maybe 3 months go by, and I ended up taking it to Cruise Week. So I took it to Cruise Week, ended up getting pulled over. I have an upcoming video kind of explaining a similar situation that I'm having currently, but they tried to say I didn't have a driver's license and I was having some sort of issue, so I wasn't able to drive the car, and I got a bunch of fines. I racked up a bunch of fines. Ended up fighting it. I got a lawyer, everything won, and it turns out the only thing I had to pay was a noise ordinance fine for, the exhaust being stupid loud. Everything else I won. They, granted me everything else. My license was not actually suspended, much like the situation I'm going through right now. Not suspended. I guess it's a communication error on two different people's behalf, and we'll get into that in another video. You'll see that probably later this week or early next week. But I ended up getting a fines, and I got frustrated with the car. I called Mike, Street Speed 717, and he wanted to buy the car, so I ended up selling it to him. At that moment, I super regretted selling it, but it was what it was. I sold it. I just continued to use that money to make money. As you do know, I was a car dealer. I flipped a bunch of cars. Leads me to where I bugged Mike to buy the car back. I bought the car back. The next day, I ended up wrecking the car, and I, I wouldn't say I regretted buying it back, but I regretted my decisions, and it definitely caused a huge burden. So I put that money into the car, never made an insurance claim. I know that is a big thing right now, that everybody's saying that there's insurance claims, insurance claims, insurance claims. I have never, ever, and I will put this on everything, never, ever made an insurance claim on any of my vehicles for anything that I was at fault for. This is all my damage. I assumed responsibility, and I paid it all out of pocket, which I respect myself for. I don't care if you guys don't respect me for doing it. I've never, ever made an insurance claim. F450, the snow damage. I don't know if you've seen that video, but when I slid off the cliff and hit a tree, I never even fixed the truck. Never made a F450, never made a claim, never had any issues. I don't care. It was something that you can't control Mother Nature. You definitely can't control something that I did. I had the choice whether I was going to go up that hill or not. I had the choice whether or not I was going to text and drive, which led me to wrecking the car. And I did the decision to do this to the car. So if you're wondering what happened to the car, I'm going to just come clean and tell you 100%. I ended up getting the car back running. At this point, it was probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, a little bit before Corvettes of Carlisle. and I was driving the car around for the day, and I ended up getting another fuel leak. So as you do know, I had a scheduled appointment to get it tuned down at CSP's, and Andrew, sorry I didn't make the appointment. Obviously, you know, we were in contact, but I ended up getting a fuel leak. So I want to go over fuel line with you guys. I bought cheap fuel line from Amazon. It was only like 29 bucks for a 50-foot roll. I ended up putting it on here, and this car was at one point on E85. So I think what happened is it sat a little bit. The E85 went ahead and eroded the fuel line that I used, and over time it just wore it down, broke it down. Then the car sat from February till last week on C16, mind you. I'm not on E85 anymore. It is a C16 car, but the car sat. I fired it up, I drove it and all that, and I ended up getting a fuel leak. So I was super frustrated. I brought the car back here. I actually had to get it towed. I have a trailer and truck, so I ended up towing it back here, putting it up, and I discovered the fuel line that was broken is up above the torque tube. So at that point, I was super frustrated. I didn't want to tear the transmission out of it, the torque tube, all that shit. I didn't want to tear all that stuff out of it, so I was super frustrated. The car was actually down here. I brought the Suburban up. I was just going to push on the rear bumper because I was going to replace this rear bumper anyway to get painted. I was just going to push on the rear bumper and end up pushing it up here out of the way, so I had my parking area down here. Plus, this is sort of where I turn my wrenches. So I guess while I was pushing the car up, there's a stump in the front, which you'll probably see in the video. I'll show you. There's a stump in the front that I did not know I hit. So when I pushed, I thought it was just kind of a lip, or I don't know. It just got really firm. So when I went to push on it, the Suburban ended up jumping up and punching out the back window. Now, this is where it comes to where I want you guys to learn something. When I was pushing on it and it busted out the back window, I was intoxicated. I'll be 100% honest with you guys. I was drinking. I wasn't drunk to the point where I don't remember anything, or, you know, I wasn't angrily drunk, or, you know, whatever you want to call it, but I was frustrated with the car. So when I pushed it, the back window shattered. I was super frustrated. I did not have a video going. I just kind of didn't care at that point. So at that point, I put the Suburban in 4 low, and after the window got busted, I just rammed it as hard as I could up here. Being frustrated, number one, like I said, frustration was definitely there, and I was drinking. You know, I had a few beers. I mean, I'm an adult. I'm 35 years old next week, and, you know, I made the decision to, you know, kind of lose my stuff. So I'm not proud about it, but I am going to come clean and tell you guys about it, because it's something that maybe I can help somebody. Don't do things while you're intoxicated. That's sort of why, or where I want to go with this, and why I'm going to, you know, record this video, because I want somebody to learn from my mistake. Was it a simple mistake? Yes. Was I super frustrated with the car? Absolutely. Had I been sober, would I have done that? Probably not. I probably would have just, you know, at that point it was just the back window that needed busted and the back bumper, which we were going to replace. So I probably would have just kind of ate the cost and, you know, assessed the damage differently. But like I said, being intoxicated kind of took the best of me. I was super mad at the car for breaking the fuel line. I missed my dyno appointment. That meant I wasn't able to make Corvettes of Carlisle, which kind of was a bummer because I told everybody I was going to go. There's a bunch of factors that kind of led up to where we're at now with the car. So I'm embarrassed about it, but I'd rather speak about it than try to hide it like I was doing, because after all, guys, I am 100% honest with you guys. I want you guys to know the truth. I share my life with you guys, and I share it for a reason. I want people to learn. Whether it be how to turn a wrench or life lessons, I want you guys to learn from my experiences, and maybe be able to make a better decision. Or maybe you're on the fence and you're drinking too much, and, you know, you don't want to drink anymore. Let this be your lesson that, you know, sometimes people do things intoxicated that they'd never do sober. I don't really know where to go else from there. I'll show you guys some more damage of the car, but guys, it is what it is. At this point, we're gonna take it, and I ordered new rear quarter panels. As you do know, I did order there's a deck lid piece up top here. I ordered a new one. I ordered a new trunk. I got to go to Massachusetts and pick this and that up. Not a big deal. We'll get that taken care of and get the car back together. As far as content with the car, I am going to still make content with it. We are still going to have fun with it. I just don't know that I'm going to take it to the drag racing aspect that I want. or that you guys want. As you guys do know, Corvettes are one of the most expensive cars to modify and make fast, because of the rear differential and transmission. I do have a car that I do want to plan to build into a drag car. No, it's not the 3rd gen Trans Am, but I do have a car in mind that I would love to make a drag car. And unfortunately, this is just going to be a driver. This is going to be when I want to jump in the car and just, you know, go pick up a part that'll fit in the trunk. I'm going to take the Corvette to pick up a part. When I want to go out on the weekend and I don't have the kids, or a weekend that, you know, I have free time, I'm going to jump in the Corvette and I'm going to drive it. That's what I intended this car to be. That's what I want this car to be. That's where we are going with it. So I'll show you guys a little bit more of the damages, and then have my closure. And this video actually got a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, but it is what it is. See, my neighbors got loud stuff too. It's not just me. But there you guys have it. If you like the content, please smash that like button. Please subscribe. And I can guarantee version 3.0 will be the best version of the Corvette that you've ever seen. It's going to be a nice driver. I do have a big thing coming up. Once this thing is painted and done, you will see all that. It's going to be about a month and a half till you see this car again. It is going to go to the garage, and sort of a little sneak peek, big announcement there. So stay tuned, guys. Take care, and I will see you in the next upload. That's a wrap. Get this thing back on the trailer and out of my life. We're going to come over here to the front, and you'll be able to see that damage there. If you follow it straight forward, it actually hit this stump here, which I did not know this stump was here. It is what it is. I can't do anything about it now, guys. It's definitely frustrating, but we did end up breaking the brand new front bumper that we got, and it's just chalking it up as a loss at this point, guys. We're going to go ahead and take our time to repair it. We're going to repair it nice. We're going to get rid of all the headache and hassle that we've had with this car and just make it a basic, simple driver, guys. It's what I want this car to be, and that's the direction we're going to take it.